Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be a pretty exciting video and the intro is gonna be short because I'm doing my recommendations for the Sephora Vib sale. I'm gonna leave the sale information below, but you guys know that for Rouge, it will start on this October 30th. So we have a lot of time to shop. On this Sephora Vib sale, I will buy some things. So this is gonna be an exciting one for me. So if you wanna see my recommendations, so everything that I'm gonna show you, I love, I've tried, I've adored, I've gone through multiples, I've gone through one, I'm about to finish one. So without further ado, let's just go ahead into the recommendations. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with skincare. The first one is the Mercier Illuminating Eye Cream. And this is such an exciting product because the truth is that I purchased an online makeup class from Amanda Cocoeva and she recommended this cream. I think about a month after I got it as PR and I wanted to purchase it. It was on my wish list. So it came actually when I needed to purchase an eye cream and then I've been using it non-stop. It has sort of a pinky tone to it. It doesn't translate necessarily into the skin, but it corrects a little bit of the color that I have on my skin when I apply it, and it makes everything super smooth and it's never heavy. So I really like this. Then for my moisturizer, I've told you guys before that I've had to put aside this one because I have been trying to use one that I have from Dr. Brandt that I'm not obsessed with, and I've kept my word. But when I got it, I couldn't stop using it, and that's why I've used it this much. I love this one because this is the Laura Mercier Mattifying Oil-Free Moisturizer because I'm combination to oily, and I love this because this is what I guess a gel moisturizer will feel like without being a gel. It feels really light on the skin. It doesn't make my oils go worse. It doesn't make my skin feel oily. It doesn't make me feel dewy. It makes me feel like my skin got a drink and that it's ready to go for makeup and everything. Then for an in-between of primer and moisturizer, the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I actually have a mini of this one that's on my makeup artistry kit, and that's the one that I use the most, but I love these. You need the tiniest amount if you're as oily as me. A little bit of it goes a long way. If you have dry skin, then you can go ham with it, and it will make your makeup look hydrated and dewy. And if you don't want to wear anything on your face and you just want to apply concealer and spot conceal and just want to look dewy because you're super dry, this is wonderful. It's even wonderful to mix with your foundation. I would highly recommend this product. If you're a makeup artist, you have to have this on your kit. For primers, the ones that I want to talk to you about are new ones as recommendations because for me, I've always used the Benefit Professional and I've always used the Dr. Brandt Pores No More. Those are really mattifying primers, especially the Dr. Brandt one. And the Benefit Professional, I've noticed after using these ones that are silicone free, that it makes me a little bit more oily on my nose than what I would like to. That's a staple for me. I have it. I love it. I've repurchased it time after time, but I've been replacing it with the Pure Canvas by Laura Mercier, the blurring primer. So I got sent the entire line of primers from them. I have about 3 or 4 that I don't care about, that I find them to be nice but okay, and I have 3 here that I love and that are going into, these 2 are going into my makeup artistry kit, and this one is the one that I use almost every single day if I'm not trying to pan another thing. But this is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Blurring Primer. All of these primers are silicone free and they have primers for different purposes. So you would have to do the research. So the blurring one is the one that I use as a replacement for my pores and I love it. It doesn't make me as oily as the Professional, but it does the exact same thing and it doesn't feel as silicone-y as that one, even though you can feel the thickness of it. It's not thick, but you can feel the thickness of it, that you know that it will fill out your pores, and I can see an actual difference when I use it. So that's why this is the one that I've used the most of all of the primers that they sent me, because this is the one that's more targeted for my skin type. The illuminating one, I had it and I was thinking, okay, when I start doing clients and such, I will use this one. But then I went to the Amanda Cocoeva online class and she used this one and this one a ton. I decided to use these on my entire face except for my T-zone, and I love the glow that it gives. This is again another one of those things like the Charlotte Tilbury flawless filter that you can use on its own, and you only have to spot conceal if you don't want to wear a full coverage foundation, but it will give you a glow for sure. And it's that fine consistency that I can use on my oilier skin without getting oily, but getting the benefits of hydrating or luminous primer. Of course, I don't wear it on my T-zone, but it doesn't make my makeup last less, if that makes any sense. And then the hydrating one, because this feels sort of like a lightweight moisturizer, and if that's what you want the hydrating effect, but you don't want to wear a moisturizer, a primer, and then a lot of things on your skin, then this will be the one for you. It feels fresh and it feels lightweight. For foundation, I didn't know that I was gonna have this amount of foundations, to be honest, but a lot of them I talked to you guys about them before. So I have here the Double Wear. This is my most used foundation on my kit. I'm not using it right now on myself because you guys know that I'm going through all of my foundations, but this is gonna be the first one that I will purchase for myself. It's my favorite event type of foundation. It covers everything. On my skin, it looks wonderful because it can look dry when I apply it, and then half an hour later, it looks like it melted into my skin, and it will last all day long. I love, 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 love this foundation. I have about 12 foundations on my kit that are the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I've gone through a few of those for myself. And then the other one that I carry on my kit that I've gone through multiples of for myself is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I haven't tried the matte one, but this is one of my favorite foundations when I want an everyday foundation. The first time that I purchased it, it was newly released. It was about 5 years ago, I think. It was newly released. And I used it every single day when I first got it until I finished it. This is not the most long lasting now that I live in a more humid weather, but it will last enough. I love it, and it feels really nice. It feels light on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel as heavy as the Estee Lauder, and these are two of my top favorite foundations. One that I've tried this year, and that this is my second bottle, I finished the first bottle, is the Stay Naked Weightless foundation. And this is a funny one because when I got it, I was like, I don't like this. This is just regular coverage. I don't know if I will use it up. And I was using it every day. This was the same thing as the Too Faced Born This Way. I got it and I didn't stop using it until I finished it. It was a little bit light and I had to mix it up with other foundations. Now I have the right shade for me, but it was perfect. I love that foundation. It feels like an everyday foundation. So sometimes when I get an everyday foundation, it doesn't blow my mind because it's an everyday foundation and I want the effect that I get when I get full coverage one or an event type of foundation. But these are the best foundations that you can get because these are the ones that you use on an everyday basis. So these are the ones that get you your money back first. So the Stay Naked foundation from Urban Decay is just wonderful. When you get a new product, you always get excited for it, and then when you're like me and you have other 10 products in the same category, then you start rotating them. But these I couldn't put down, and I was using it until I finished it, and that tells you a lot. This foundation, the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation, is one of my favorites. I went through one of this one, I think it was last year. I don't think it was this year, or I finished it maybe this year. It was the wrong shade, that's why it was such a hassle to finish. But this is one of the best foundations that I've tried for my oily skin. And it comes with more than, I think it comes with almost twice the amount of product that a regular foundation, 1.6 fluid ounces, and almost all of the foundations come with 1 fluid ounce. So this comes with a ton. I have to finish this one because I don't want it to, it's getting older now, but it's really dark for me. So I'm thinking about using it as a bronzer, but I will definitely have these on. I've told you guys that when I go through my entire collection of foundation, I will have 10 foundations that will match me. There are foundations that I love and that will range from everyday foundation to event foundation, but that if I pick any of them, I would be happy, and this will be one of those foundations. I truly, truly love it. I know it has a scent. If you don't like a scent, this is not gonna be for you, but this will keep you matte and this will keep you not looking cakey or oily and it's not, again, as heavy as the Estee Lauder Double Wear. And when I say that this is heavy, this doesn't remove the love that I have for it, because I can sheer it out, but this can feel heavy. This one, not that much if you have an oilier skin, because if you have a dry skin, I know every single foundation that's more on the matte side will make you feel a little bit cakey. This one is one that I recommend, that it's really pricey, that I don't have it on the right shade, but because if I did, I would have finished it by now. This is the Traceless Foundation Stick by Tom Ford, and mine looks awful because my dog bit it. But this is a wonderful foundation. I have a review of that one. I will leave it linked below because I love it. I know that this looks flawless on the skin. It lasts longer than other stick foundations, keeping in mind that I live in a humidity of 100% type of weather and that I'm oily. These last better than any other stick foundations that I own. I can also recommend the Ultra HD foundation stick that I love, but those make me more shiny than I like. This is the best one for that. It's just so long lasting. It's easy to blend. I'm just sorry that I have it in the wrong shade. I have it in 6.5 Sable, and that's really too dark for me. And then for tinted moisturizers, Jamie Page recommended the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. I remember using a code and grabbing 2 little samples of it when they re-released it, because she said that it was as good as the first one that she tried when she was younger and that she used as her foundation for years. So I wanted to try it. For me, I have to be honest, tinted moisturizers, even though I adore them, they don't last as long. That's basically the point for them. They're not meant to be the most long lasting. They're meant to be just natural on the skin, and if you're gonna run a quick errand or if you're gonna use them for every day, they will look just like your skin but better. I finished that sample completely. Like I said, it doesn't hold my oils as much, but I love the finish and letting my imperfections peek through. And then I got it on PR. And this is the Tinted Moisturizer by Laura Mercier. It has an SPF 30. This is really pricey. That's why I'm telling you to get it on the sale if you love a sheer coverage. And this has 1.7 fluid ounces. So in a way, it's not as pricey as you would think because it comes with almost 2 ounces of product. The shade doesn't really matter because you can see that it doesn't really change the color of your skin. It just gives you a little bit of coverage, a light coverage, and sort of a stockings effect. But if I had to choose between two, this one, the Kevyn Aucoin Strip Nude Skin Tint. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. I have a tutorial with this one. You can check it out. It's the Look Fantastic Going Out at Night using this one. You know when you wear stockings and they make your legs look perfect and flawless, but you can still see your legs through them? This is the effect that this one gives. The shade Medium 04, like I am in every single Kevyn Aucoin foundation. By the way, the Etherealist foundation by Kevyn Aucoin, I've gone through 2 of those, and that's another one that's gonna be on my 10 foundations when I get to repurchase foundations. That's Dewy Goodness. That foundation looks wonderful on my skin. It's one of the best foundations that I've tried, and it's amazing. I've tried it in a self-tan shade and in my right shade, and I've loved it. For concealer, I have to tell you that I have the same oldies but goodies that I always recommend. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This opened my eyes to what a beautiful concealer would look like, and I've used this for years, and I carry it on my makeup artistry kit. At this point, I have about 7 or 8 shades. I used to have almost 15 shades, and I've been going through them, and I've been just finishing them, but I love these. I repurchased Custard, which is my shade, I guess about 6 times. I've repurchased Ginger about 3 times. I've repurchased Vanilla about 2 times. I've gone through the NARS Radiant Creamy for myself a lot. It's the Born This Way concealer. This is the first one that I'm gonna purchase to have my personal collection of concealers in the shade Almond. That's my perfect shade right now. And I love these. I have about 5 shades of this one that have been replacing the NARS one and the Tarte ones on my makeup artistry kit, and I truly love these. These are a great investment. I really like them. They come with a ton of product. I guess you couldn't go through one of these if you used it every day for an entire year. They are so, so good. For spot concealer, if you have a little pimple or if you want to make one of those concealers way more full coverage, you can go for the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. I purchased the first shade about 8 years ago, and then I purchased 3 more shades, and I wish I had the entire range of yellow tone concealers on this one because they are so nice. This is, you can make it as a foundation and you can make it as a concealer if you mix it with a primer, if you mix it with a moisturizer. This is, I guess, I don't remember, but I think it's 50% pigment. It's really nice. I use this mostly to spot conceal, and this will last you forever. The one that I have that has about 7 years, it's still perfectly fine. Oh my goodness, this will cover anything and everything. You just have to learn how to use them. But if you're looking for something that will cover hyperpigmentation, if you're looking for something that will make anything and everything more full coverage, and if you want to use or carry a foundation, concealer, and everything in one, just mixing it with primers and stuff, then you can go with the Essential Skin Enhancer. It's wonderful. I highly recommend it. I truly do. For powder, I have every single option for you, and then a buffing powder. So the first one that I'm going to talk about, because it's the only one on this category that I have that is this way, is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. I have it in the shade 213. I've been thinking about purchasing a ton the number 1, because this one, when I'm this fair, and I have to be honest, I mostly never wear fake tan, this looks yellow on me. This looks too dark on me. And you can see that I've hit pan on it, but if I'm not self-tan, I can't use this. I can use it on the perimeters of my face, but I can't use it on my under eyes, and that's where I love it the most. And on my nose to touch up my makeup, that's where I love it the most. So I would highly recommend this. If I didn't love it this much, this is the second one of number 2 that I've gotten, and I have the number 3. I wouldn't repurchase because this is a pricey product, and if you can get it on sale, it will be even better. For translucent powders, I have a few. My favorite, of course, and the one that I've used the most throughout the years, the one that I've repurchased the most consistently, is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I have one that I'm about to finish right now, and I have a backup. I'm so lucky that I got it sent on PR. And then I wanted to make an announcement on this video. This is the translucent honey. This, as soon as I received it, I tried it on myself. It's too dark for me, but it's a perfect one for my makeup artistry kit. I always get light to medium and tan skin tones. I never get deeper skin tones, but this will work amazing on deeper skin. And I have the Laura Mercier, the deep one that I purchased when it was released for my makeup artistry kit. And I've always had the translucent one. For you guys to know why this one is my favorite, I carry the Huda Beauty powder on my makeup artistry kit as well, and the Hourglass one. Why I always love to have the Laura Mercier one is that when I don't feel like those translucent powders from Huda that have a little bit of a tint to them will work on my clients, and I'm not sure about the skin of my clients if what I'm using will create a flashback or not, I will use the Laura Mercier translucent. Some people say that it gives them flashback. I've worked with brides for years, and the Laura Mercier one never fails me. So it's maybe in the way that you apply it. I adore it. I've gone through many powders of this one. It's perfect to bake if you want to bake, and it's perfect to just set your face lightly. I love this. This is my favorite Laura Mercier powder. They have the under eye one and they have the glow one. The glow one, it's nice. The under eye one, I'm not obsessed with. But the translucent one, it's beautiful, and you can find it. It doesn't matter your skin tone, you will have an option for you. And the honey one, I will have to show you, but it's yellow with a hint of peach or orange. I can't really tell you how beautiful this is in person, but it's wonderful for olive skin tones. When I get a client that's more on the drier side, but I live in a humid weather, so they still want to set their face, it's the Hourglass Veil Setting Powder. I love these. I've seen people rave about these. If I use it, I get oilier quicker. But if I use it on this part of my face, then I will be fine. This looks like your skin is just not lit from within because it doesn't give you quite a glow, but it makes you look more natural when you wear this. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This one holds my oils though. I didn't mention that. And then another one that works beautiful and that I love, and that right now this is the only shade that I have left on my kit because I finished the other two shades, and one of them I even repurchased and finished, is the Huda Beauty powders. They come in a few shades. I love Pound Cake, I love Banana Bread, and Blondie. I told you guys at the beginning of the year that I purchased the Fenty Beauty powders because they were a few dollars cheaper and they had more product, and that I wanted to replace my Huda Beauty with those. What a mistake. Those powders are awful. I always try them on myself first, and they cling to everything that you don't want them to cling. They're not reliable. Oh my goodness, I don't like those powders at all. And then last but not least, my favorite powder of all time, the one that I use to buff my face, the one that I adore and would recommend, oh my goodness, more than anything in my collection. My clients call this the magic powder because I buff their face always, and they always look like everything belongs to them. The skin, everything, the bronzer, the highlight, the blush, everything looks like it comes from within. And that's because of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. These powders, I finished them. I finished Diffuse Light, Dim Light. This one, Radiant Light, I finished twice. I sold Ethereal Light after using half of it because a friend wanted it, so I sold it to her. And I'm right now using Moonlight. So I've gone through a few of these powders and I love them all, but my favorite shade is this one. This is Radiant Light, and even though it looks dark, it works for every single skin tone. I'm telling you, if you're super light, maybe you can go ahead and use Dim Light or Ethereal Light. But this is an oh my goodness type of powder. I purchased this at the beginning of the year for my makeup artistry kit, and I said that I was gonna purchase one for myself as soon as I finish Moonlight, which is the one that I'm using right now, which is more of the pinky shades. And I use this every day, and I will use it up until I finish it. But the truth is that Radiant Light is the winner for me. If you're gonna purchase one product from this entire recommendations video, Radiant Light, Duo Fiber Brush, buff your face after everything before lipstick, you look beautiful. Bronzer is one of those products that if I had an unlimited budget, I would go in and purchase every single bronzer that they would come up with that was a matte or a satin bronzer, never shimmery bronzers, but I would buy them all. I would buy the Fenty Beauty one, I would buy every single one of them, because I love bronzer so much, and bronzer is one of those products that I actually go through and finish. I have here every single bronzer that I love. A few of them I finished multiples of. The first one is one that is more on the satin type or shimmery bronzer, and I love this. I've mentioned this before. I want to put this in a project pan and finish it up because I enjoy it so much, but I use it so hesitantly because I don't want to run out of it. And it's the Too Faced Sweet Tea bronzer. I love this. This is a baked formula. It never looks overwhelming. I wish they would come up with a few more shades and that they would do more of a sleek packaging on this one because it's so beautiful. So beautiful. I would highly suggest, if you like not a matte bronzer but a satin bronzer, to get this one. You will not be disappointed if you're more on the light to medium skin tone, because I truly don't know how this would work on dark skin. I don't think it would show up. I think it would look more ashy or as a highlighter in a way. Then this one, I have two shades, and this is the one that I put on my kit when I know that I'm gonna do someone that has more of a mature skin type or a drier skin type, and it looks so wonderful on them. And then again, I use it on myself when I want my makeup to look seamless and I don't want to buff that much, or when I want my makeup to look buff and then rebuff it. And it's the Hourglass Nude Bronze Light and Luminous Bronze Light. Luminous Bronze Light was the one that I purchased first, so it's the one that looks way more worn than the other one. But Nude Bronze Light is actually a favorite shade for me because it's lighter. This one is more on the orangey side, but when you have someone that's more tan, this looks beautiful on them. I love that Hourglass mixes the ambient lighting powders with the products that they do. For me to purchase two of the same category and think about my makeup artist kit while doing so, it has to be that the product is amazing. It has to be. This is one from Too Faced that you can see the rings on it. This is the Chocolate Soleil Too Faced in medium deep matte bronzer. I have a travel size of this one, and this one and Hula and Laguna from NARS. Those have been my favorite bronzers since I started using makeup, basically. So this is just wonderful. This is one that I can go for if I have a client, I wanna make sure that the bronzer looks flawless, I will go into this one. This is just stunning, and I love the scent, and it doesn't lose the scent. Know that I will never be without it. This is just a beautiful, beautiful bronzer. This has been one that I wanted because Stephanie, her YouTube channel used to be SMLXO. I love her channel. I've seen her for ages. She always recommended these matte radiance baked powders or bronzers. And when I had the chance, I actually asked Laura Mercier, because I'm on their PR list, to send me a few of the shades. So they sent me 03 and 02, and this is 02, and you can see that the dome shape is going down. I have this on another shade, and you can see the dome almost completely because I've used this so much. Oh, this is the bronzer that I'm wearing on my face today. I love this. This basically buffs into your skin. It's seamless, it's beautiful. It buffs the same way or even more so than the Hourglass bronzers. This is insanely pretty. And then from Laura Mercier, again, the matte bronzing powder in Soleil. Sometimes I don't mention this because I'm gonna look for it at Sephora and I don't find it, but I know you can find it at the Laura Mercier website. And if you subscribe to the newsletter, you will get a percentage off from your first purchase. So I would highly suggest this one. This smells like the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and it's so good. I have the shade Soleil 1, and this matches me perfectly. I don't know if you guys can see, but this used to come with a Laura Mercier autograph basically on it, and it's gone. And then the corner, I know I will hit pan on this corner soon, and I love these. When this is gone, I will repurchase. That's how much I love these. Well, all of these, if I finish them, I will repurchase for myself. Now I'm showing you guys this one in representation of Laguna because I have that in a face palette, but I don't want to move and ruin the lighting right now. But this is the Sun Wash Bronzer by NARS. This is the Seaside one, but I'm referring to the formula, the regular formula, the bronzing powder from NARS in Laguna. That's amazing. I've gone through multiples of it. That was my first high-end bronzer, and I've kept repurchasing ever since. This Seaside is really nice. The Sun Wash one is more of a less pigmented formula because it's more of those jelly type of consistency in the pan, but they are both good. It's just up to preference, but the regular formula, it's amazing. I know a lot of bronzers have been coming up, but staples are staples. These products, if I've repurchased them for years, even though I have a drawer with bronzers from different brands, and I keep repurchasing these ones when I finish them, even though I've used bronzers that are beautiful as well, it tells you a lot. It tells you something great about a product. And then I'm gonna show this one to you because I don't have the single. And this is the Hula regular powder, and then I have also caramel. As soon as I finish these, I will buy those two because they're beautiful in their own way. Hula is more neutral, Hula Caramel is more on the warmer side, and I know that they have a light one and a deeper one, a toasted one, and they're stunning as well because the formula is the same, but I love these. The Hula regular I've purchased so many times. I even had a full size and I sold it because I had it in a palette. And oh my goodness, I almost forgot. The Marc Jacobs Omega Tantastic Bronzer. This also smells amazing, and guys, I have to say I saw this on sale at Sephora. So if you can get it on sale and a sale on top of that, I would highly recommend it. If you need one bronzer, this will be a bronzer for you to use for 2 years every single day and you won't finish it. It has a lot of product. This comes with 25 grams of product, and this one, for example, comes with 9 grams. Then this one comes with 11 grams. This one comes with 7.5 grams, 5.5 grams, 10 grams. So this comes with 25 grams of product, way more than double the amount of any other bronzer that I've recommended. This should be the one to pick up. But these highlighters, you can still find them. They're gonna be amazing. They have them in different shades. I have here the Dior. This is the glowing nude one, and since they released this one that it was so hyped up, they have come up with about, I guess, 20 or 10 shades of it, and the formula, everyone says that it's consistent, it's beautiful, so I would highly recommend it. I had it when it was the Glowing Gardens highlighter, and I hit pan on it. That's how much I love it, and I can keep hitting pan. I could finish this highlighter. It's so beautiful. I'm wearing it on my face today mixed with another one to lighten it a little bit up. But this is insane. For me to hit pan in a highlighter, that tells you that I would wear it every single day. So yeah, these I would highly suggest it. Just get it in the shade or in a shade that you know you will love. Then the Laura Mercier ones. And even though they sent me a few of them, I already had one that I purchased years ago. This is Indiscretion, and this is the one that I purchased years ago. This is stunning. These will last you forever. I think you need the tiniest amount for them to show up on your skin. I know that you can see it right there in the center because this is darker. There's one that is really gold that I know I won't be using, but I'm not that into pink highlighters, and this one blows my mind. This is Devotion from Laura Mercier, and it has a pink tone to it, but it's also not a rude pink, and it has sort of a light base to it. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. So the Bank Disable palette from NARS is my favorite highlighting palette that I have in my collection that has regular everyday shades, right? That palette was limited edition, and it's so sad because it's one of the most beautiful creations from NARS. But after that, they came up with single highlighters, and it took me a while to get in the bandwagon for this one. But I've always been so obsessed with Alana. I went on a trip, a brand trip, and I think it was with NARS. And when she used this on camera, she was so burned from the sun, and she was just sitting down. I think it was Ibiza, and she was sitting down doing her makeup. It was so beautiful. And when she showed Faux de France, oh my goodness, I died. I know that I love a product when years later I'm still thinking about it. I know that almost a year or two passed before I purchased this, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. You can see how reflective it is, and it comes with that NARS highlighter formula. It's not the same one as the Bank Disable. It's a little bit different, but it's the same in the way that I love that one. That palette, when you use the highlighters, they basically melt into your face. You don't have to work them hard for them to melt into your face. They never sit on top of your makeup. They basically belong to you. And that's something that I adore. That's something that I would truly recommend, and I know that they have different colors. So the one that I have here is Faux de France. This is more similar to Champagne Pop in a way. It's different formulas, but it's more similar in shade. But I know they have different shades that you can try, and this is a beautiful, stunning formula. This is one of the newest highlighters in my collection. Tom Ford Reflects Guilt. These used to be limited edition, but I've seen it on Sephora a lot of times ever since. So if you can find this, get it. This is stunning. This is a blinding highlighter. I love the gold and I love the pink one. It's not that one is better than the other. You can't really see them. Highlighters are so difficult to swatch, but this is stunning. You can see the two shades. You can even use these as a blush topper to give highlight to your blush, but you will not be disappointed. I can even mix the two. This one looks really worn because I've worn it a ton, and I love these. This is a more expensive product, but I would highly recommend these. For blushes, my recommendation has always been NARS blushes. They're amazing, or the Becca blushes. I still love Songbird from Becca, Warm Honey from Becca. I love the Becca blushes for sure. And then NARS one, I love Madly, I love Luster, I love Orgasm, which I don't have right now. I finished it completely. I love Taj Mahal, is one of my favorites. I love Impassioned. I have about 50 or more NARS blushes. So I love NARS blushes. I would recommend them. One that I would recommend more this year because I didn't have it and it's a new one for me, it's Orgasm X. I adore with passion this blush. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I can't rave enough about it, and this is also gonna be on one of those mini videos because they released a mini. This is a beautiful summer or wanna look alive type of blush. It's beautiful. One of the most beautiful blushes that I have from NARS is definitely Orgasm X. And then I wanted to talk about the Laura Mercier blushes, and I have my favorite shades here, and of course they are more wearable in a way. So I have almost all of them, and Grapefruit is one that's really similar to Orgasm X, but I like more of a punch. So I prefer Orgasm X than Grapefruit from Laura Mercier. But if you're afraid of pigmentation, then go for the blush color infusions from Laura Mercier. They're easier to work with in a lot of ways if you are afraid to look like a clown or still don't master the art of applying blush without looking heavy, because NARS blushes are highly pigmented. Then for the Laura Mercier blushes, the ones that are my favorite, this one I used a ton when I got it and I still recommend it. It's one of those pinks that will steal your heart. It's not every pink will steal my heart at this point. I'm not obsessed with pink blush. And this is a strawberry. So pretty. So pretty. This is peach and this is stunning. I gave one of these to my sister-in-law and she uses it every day. She has a dip in it. She adores it. And then two of the ones that I use the most are Fresco and Chai, and I have to say Chai, I prefer it over Fresco. I thought I had ginger, but I don't. So Chai is the one that I love. And then Fresco is really nice. It's a matte with a hint of shimmer, but they're both everyday blushes. I love these two. These are more up my alley, and these are the ones that I bet I will hit pan quicker than any of the other Laura Mercier blushes that I own. I have here this blush from Hourglass that I love. This is the Ambient Lighting Brilliant Nude, and I've been using this one because I want to get the palette. I want to get the Ambient palette, both of them, the 4-pan and the 6-pan palettes from Hourglass, and I wanted to visit this one. The thing about this one is that it comes with a lot of glow because this is one that has the strobe lighting powder mixed with the blush. And mine came with a lot of strobe lighting powder in it because you know that they end up being different. So this is not as pigmented as I would like. And I have other two ambient lighting blushes, but they're not the right colors. I purchased them when I believed that pink blushes were the best blushes in the world. And then right after I purchased them, I'm into peach blushes, and I've been into peach blushes for the past, I guess, 6 years, maybe more. And then these I saw on sale, and again, if you can get these on sale, on top of a sale, I would still, if I didn't have it, I would still pay full price for this. I'm obsessed with it. And these, if you're a makeup artist, if you do brides, this is one of the most beautiful palettes that NARS has released, but people do not appreciate it that much because it looks boring. The highlighters are not extremely blinding. They are just this type of highlighter that will look beautiful applied with a sponge, with a brush, with your finger. They're a creamy formula, but they look beautiful on the skin. If you like a highlighter like the one that I'm wearing today, that it's not blinding, it looks buffed, these, when you apply them, they will look buffed, and you can mix them with the blush and you can make the blush a little bit glowy. But these three blushes on their own, they're just stunning, and you could use them on every single client that you had, and it will look amazing. It doesn't matter the skin tone. Every single client would be able to use one of these blushes, and it would be in the nude range, which means that this palette will get more love than any other NARS palette that I have in my collection, and I love my NARS palettes, and I have a ton of them. For eyeshadow palettes, I have a few of them. Most of them are Natasha Denona. I'm gonna show you my favorites, but I'm gonna show you two that are not. This is the Soft Glam palette. If you can see, most people, when they show this, it looks clean, beautiful, stunning, like it has never been used, but it's their favorite. But with me, you can see that it clearly is a favorite. I know that when I finish this eyeshadow palette, like when I hit pan in every shade and I finish about 4 or 5 shades that I adore, I will repurchase. This is one of my top 2 eyeshadow palettes in my entire collection. I adore Natasha Denona. I adore it. But this palette, it's a go-to. It's one of my favorite palettes in my entire collection for sure. And I know I will repurchase. Then for another palette that people stop talking about it, and I've been using it organically. That's why I decided to put it on this project pan, because I've been hitting pan for the last month on this one so much. I wanna at some point hit pan in every single shade of this one. This is the Huda New Nudes palette. It has right now 7 pans. I have this one on a project right now, so I know I will hit pan on that one. And then I know soon I will hit pan on Daydream as well. So I will have 9 eyeshadows with pan on this palette. This is the perfect bridal eyeshadow palette, and it's in a way the perfect everyday eyeshadow palette for me. The same as the Soft Glam, just in a different color scheme. I have a 3 looks 1 palette using this one. I will see if I can link that someplace on the screen. This is lovely. I even love the base that it comes with, one of the most loveliest palettes. That's why the Naughty one that they just released is now on my wish list, because I love this one so much. This is definitely my favorite Huda Beauty palette. And then for Natasha Denona, I have a lot of them here. I'm not gonna open up the palette because my palettes, I'm gonna open them up, but you guys know that I have a Franken palette that has a lot of them, and I didn't want to show this to you because I want to do the Panda palette, but I'm gonna show it right now. It has one of each palette, 5 eyeshadows of each palette on each row. These are the quintets, and then this is the entire bronze palette that I'm using a lot. And then the mini palettes, I have 6 eyeshadow palettes from each of the mini palettes. So when I show this to you, you will see pan in every single Natasha Denona shadow that I own, and you will see missing pans that are on that palette. The first one is the gold one, and you can see that I've hit pan in 3 shades already. I think this in a way is my favorite Natasha Denona palette because of the magic shades that it has. This one I hit pan on, and the other one is on the other palette, like I said, but it's just beautiful. And this one has everyday colors. It has a pop of green or blue-green color, and it has wearable colors. It's just perfect, and it has different textures in it. So the gold one is a recommended one for sure. This one is on sale, so if you can get it on top of that with 20% off. This one I also have 3 colors that have pan in it. So this is beautiful, and it comes with a lot of everyday shades and then pops of color in the bottom. And it comes with one of my favorite pop of color, which is the Senna one, which is a lilac color. I'm obsessed with this palette. Some people didn't love it, but I'm obsessed with it. And if you can get it for half the price and 20% off, even better. I would purchase this palette right now if I didn't have it. It's just so stunning, and I paid full price for it. The bronze palette, I already showed it. On the big palette, I don't have it here. It's completely empty because all of the shades are on my Franken palette to use them a lot more every day. I love these. This is an everyday perfect palette, and this is one of the smaller ones from Natasha Denona. Then the Sunrise palette was the first midi palette that they came up with, and oh my goodness, this palette made me fall in love with the formula even more. You can see that I have major pan on this color. It's my favorite color from the palette, and then on this one. And I know I will hit pan in more shades. This is one of my favorite color schemes of the Natasha Denona shadows because I love the warm tones so much. So this is a highly recommended one. I adore it, but you just have to find the one that suits you better in terms of color scheme. And then the Viva palette is the one that I hit pan on the most, because this is just one of those palettes that you can use every single day. Even if you're using another palette, this can be the sister palette, the base palette, whatever palette you need, this will be your guide. And these I hit pan on 6 shades, including the black, but the black is on my bigger Franken palette. You can see that I hit pan on 6 shades. And I know at some point I will hit pan on even more shades of this one, because this is just the perfect go-to travel palette. I would highly suggest this palette if you are working at an office and if you're an everyday type of person, if you don't have a creative job and your job is just an office bank job. That's the palette for you. That's the palette for the perfect smoky eye. That black eyeshadow, I wear it every day. I bet that's the first eyeshadow that's gonna be gone from my entire Natasha Denona collection that I will finish the pan completely. So these are the eyeshadow palettes that I would recommend. I don't have other eyeshadow palettes that are better for me than those that I showed you. And Natasha Denona, you know that I've hit pan on over 28 shadows throughout this year only, using them during the quarantine organically. So yeah, that tells you a lot about the eyeshadows. At this point, it's no secret that I adore the Laura Mercier Caviar Sticks. But I wanted to show you this to you because I want to recommend 2 colors. And you can see it right here, right? And now I'm going to show you my 2 favorite colors. And I have backups of these, thankfully, because I knew I would repurchase if I finished them. And these are Cocoa and Metallic Taupe. Cocoa is the one that I used to create my smoky eye today. And oh my goodness, you guys, this is one of those things, again, that comes to your life in PR, but that you know that you will never be able to live without it. So you can see how much I've used this. And this is a cream product. And I basically do not use cream products. So you can see that's all I have left from Cocoa, and I know I will finish it completely. Thankfully, like I said, I have a backup. And then this one, which is Laura Mercier Metallic Taupe. These I got even sooner than Cocoa, and these I was only using as a inner corner highlight, and it's the inner corner highlight that I have on my eyes today. These I use as a liner, as an eyeshadow, but this one mostly I use it as an inner corner highlight and sometimes to cover a cut crease. And you can see that it's almost the same amount than Cocoa, a little bit more, and I use it in less eye space. So I've used it a ton as well. And this is one of those metallic shades that blows your mind. So you can see that these 2 recommendations, even though I have all of the rest of the colors, they are basically more on the newer side, but these 2 are just insane. I can't wait to get my hands on the black one because I know I will pan that so quickly. I'm gonna do a swatch of Metallic Taupe. You can see how blinding that is. Even with the lighting, you can see how reflective that is. This is one of the most beautiful shades I have ever tried from a cream product, and it competes with any powder shadow, even metallic shadows from Natasha Denona. And then this brown, I don't even want to use it because I feel like I'm wasting it. You can see how deep it is, and this is the reason why my smoky eye looks so top, because even after applying the Natasha Denona shadows that I used to create it, I gave it more depth and I gave it more smokiness and darkness right here with the Laura Mercier Cocoa Caviar Sticks. All Nighter setting spray, I don't have to say anything about it. It's the only product that will remain in my collection after I finish the setting sprays that I have, because it's the one that works the best. Then for my brows, I love the Givenchy Brow Groom and the 24-hour brow setter. This one is in a project pan for my 20 favorites in 2020. I'm about to finish it. And lately I've been trying this one that I got sent. It's the Laura Mercier Eyebrow Gel. So good too. It's so good. And the wand is different. This is more of a mascara wand than the other 2. So you just have to choose the one, but these are all amazing. Then for brows, a product that I do not have, it's the Precisely My Brow by Benefit or the Anastasia Brow Wiz, but I prefer the Precisely My Brow for sure. I use it in the shade 5 and 4.5 because those are the shades that last the longest for me, because I only use light strokes I fallen in love with the Goof Proof brow pencil. It's the one that I have on my brows today, just a little bit to mark them. And this makes it super easy for me to do my brows, so I would recommend it as well, but I prefer the Precisely My Brow. The Gimme Brow is what I have on my brows today to give color to my brows and basically do them. I love this from time to time. I don't use it every day, but I love this when I want a quick brow. I do it before foundation just to be able to mess up and clean the edges, and then I will perfect them after foundation and everything with the Goof Proof, and that will be it for my brows. For mascara, I love the Lancome Monsieur Big. I love the Lancome Hypnose Drama. I love the Dior Show. I love the It Cosmetics Superhero. But one that I tried this year, that is the one that I'm wearing today, but it's already running so low that my lashes do not look the same, is the Lash Freak by Urban Decay. This takes a learning curve and maybe a clean spoolie that you have saved with this one that you can run through your lashes if you got them a little bit too clumpy. I love the wet formula. This never smudges on my face. Not waterproof, but I always get my mascara. My mascara always smudges on me. And this one never leaves me like this residue of mascara because of the heat or anything. And like I always say, I live in a super humid weather. So this is foolproof for me. I love it. It's the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer in Eden. I never thought I was gonna recommend an eyeshadow primer because I always thought they didn't do anything and that they would just leave my eyeshadow or my eyelid looking older. This one I adore. I love it. I love that it has color to it, so it can correct darkness or the color of my veins or discolorations. But not only that, you apply the tiniest amount, you blend it and you let it set, and it will make every eyeshadow pop without making your eyes look like you're 50, 70 years old. So I really, really love it. I would highly recommend it. Then one thing that I've been doing throughout this year, and you can see it because of the little dots that it has, is using this Anastasia Deep Brow Pomade to do either freckles or just to do my birthmarks. And I don't know if you guys can see it right there, but it has a lot of dots. I use it with brushes like this one that are really tiny, and that's the way I create or recreate my birthmarks. The color that I use is dark brown. For lippies, I have a few right here. I don't know if they have the same colors, but I'm gonna talk about the formulas. If I see when I'm editing that I can't find a certain product, I will erase it from the video. But I have here the Fenty glosses. Choose your color. I have here Fussy. I prefer the first shade that they came up with, but Fussy is nice. And I also have the Milk Diamond one, the clear one with silver speckles. I love these. The formula of this gloss is like nothing else. If you can find for Christmas, for anywhere, the Too Faced Melted Matte in the shade Lady Balls. This is my favorite red for my makeup artistry kit. I never recommend reds, but I had to. And if you can't find this one, then Beso from Stila is the same red liquid lipstick, and they're both beautiful. But Lady Balls, everyone asks me about this liquid lipstick every time I use it. So either Melted Matte Lady Balls from Too Faced or Beso from Stila as a liquid lipstick. Then from Lancome, I know that they don't have this shade anymore because this was a collab with Camila Coelho, but this is the Le Absolute Rouge in the cream formula. If you can find any shade that you love, get it. This is a beautiful lipstick. I would highly recommend it. The Dior Lip Maximizer, I have basically nothing left. I put this in a project pan 20 favorites in 2020 because it's one of my favorites. And I know that after I finish this and finish a few glosses, I will repurchase this. This is in the shade 001. I would buy it in any shade that you like. This makes your lips feel minty, plumper, wonderful. I would highly recommend this. This feels expensive on the lips. It doesn't feel sticky or bad. It just is beautiful. It's truly beautiful. And then on top of the Dior lip gloss, the regular version, I don't have those right now because I ran out of them, but they're amazing. This is one from Laura Mercier. They sent me a few of them, and this is the one that I honestly used. But this one is one of those everyday colors for me. I love those. You can see that I've used it a ton. And this is the color Vibe. These are the Velour Stream Matte Lipsticks, and these are one of those matte lipsticks that are so comfortable that you wouldn't imagine. So I would highly recommend you checking out Vibe, and they have other nude shades that you can go for if you have a taste for nude. But they have red and they have wine and they have other colors if you like more of a vibrant look. And they stay put, they are wearable, they're wonderful, they feel nice on the lips. This is so funny because I think I put this in a project pan, and I was saying that if I didn't use this, I was gonna declutter it. And by making myself using it, I fell in love with it. This is the gloss that I have in the center of my lips. Of course, I put the Dior one on top, but this is the gloss that I have in the center of my lips, and it's the gloss that I use every single day that I want to make my lips look poutier. This is the Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar, and this was a staple. I bought it when Jaclyn Hill loved it. Then my friend Jamie recommended it to me. She loved it. And when I purchased it, I thought it was so pale. I didn't return it, and then I just wanted to get rid of it. I thought it was a fail. I hated it. Mine is still good. It still smells like mint, and I've been using it all this year non-stop. And I would highly recommend that if you want something that's not a lipstick that will lighten the center of your lips, but that it's more comfortable for you to use, go for the Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar. And then last but not least, for my entire amount of products, is the Givenchy Le Rouge Perfecto in the shade Perfect Pink. That's all I have left. That tells you how much I love these. This is the shade that I love. I will repurchase. I repurchased 3 times already. This one was a gift, but I would have repurchased anyway. So that's it for this video, you guys. If you love my recommendations, let me know below one recommendation that you would give me to try from your favorites. Leave that next to the emoji of something like a party, because of the Sephora Vib sale. It always feels like a celebration for us makeup lovers and makeup people. That's it, you guys. I'm losing my voice. I have to go. My camera is about to die. I love you. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. So if you want to try the products that I chose for you, please use the links below. That will help me a lot right now. And that's it, you guys. I love you, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.